Good morning, everyone. I'm decided today be a good day to tackle wheel size and just the wheel size debate. And that's a big job and not going to barely scratch the surface here in this 10-15 minute video, but we're going to get the ball rolling on wheel side. And I've been cycling for nearly 40 years, every type of discipline: mountain bike, recumbent, road bike. The only thing I haven't ridden is a unicycle. So these are some of the wheels I have. On the left here we have a Williams wheel, full disc, carbon disc. And next to that we have an Envy mountain bike rim. I think that's around 30 millimeters wide. That's a 559. Third in line with the gold hub there, we have a 507 BMX wheel from Bombshell. And on the end, we have a 16-inch, says zip, but that's a Aero Heat rim with zip stickers. That's a 16-inch, 349 millimeters. So once again, we have 700C, 559, 507, 349. As I think with all these things, because people go in and 700C is the fastest, or this does this and does that. I like to think in cycling and many things in life, it's application. And I have a background in road riding, extensive one in mountain biking, and also one in recumbents. And so with that in mind, and I have probably 250,000 miles in cycling combined. If I was just to generalize, a larger tire can roll over obstacles easier and smoother. So if that's what you're doing and how large the obstacle and is and the bump and this and that, then that's generally true. Although you can mute that with fatter tires. That's why you see a lot of smaller tires with bigger tires. So here on the Zip, we have a 40 millimeter tire. And on the one next to that, that's a 2-inch Schwalbe. And the Envy mountain bike wheel that has I use that for my recumbent. A lot of these are used for recumbents at one time. So it depends on the application. On a road bike, I like a 7. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4" and 185 pounds. So I would nothing less than I believe there's 622 millimeter rim, so 700C. On a mountain bike, I also like, they call that a 29er, same wheel size, but with a 2-inch tire, so they measure out to 29. So on a mountain bike, I prefer the 29er. Once again, it's rolls over obstacles, roots, and gets traction. Comfortable ride because the wheel spoke length, and you get a little more flex and give out of that. And it just fits me. I set within the bike. The geometry on the bike works well. When I first started mountain biking, the 559, which is the 26 they call it, was all the rage, and that was the industry standard. Nowadays we have the 750B and the 29 are still very popular. I think them are the two main industry standards. I've gotten out of it about 8 or 10 years, so there may be a few ones that snuck in there on me since I've been out of the game. And then in BMX, we have the 507 and the 406 is very popular. Being 406 is the 20, 507 is considered the 24-inch. And then recumbents on trikes, we run anywhere from 16-inch, which is that one on the end, to the Williams wheel, which is 700C. Now, my choice in trikes is, my opinion, for the most part, trikes should be 20 to 16-inch wheels all the way around. And you may say, well, why is that? Because 700C is smoother rolling, and you're geared up and it's faster. Well, I've ran both, and I'm faster on smaller wheels. And the computer and the time and the speed doesn't lie. So is it night and day difference? No, it's just supple. Where the trike is a three-wheeled, multi-wheeled vehicle, and so you're not leaning into turns. The tire doesn't lean sideways left and right. It's meant to go straight. So on a larger wheel, you get a lot of side load, and that side load flexes spokes and twists the wheel and wants the wheel to pry on the frame. So in recumbent trikes, in my opinion, the right application of wheel size is a 16 or a 20 at 406/20 because of these issues that you're having. It's as the wheel gets smaller, the triangulation and the length of the spokes play into a much stronger wheel. So you're side loading because you're cornering more like a race car, which a 700C wheel is not really meant to or built or designed to do. It just depends again on the application, how you're riding. If you're 90 years old and you ride 5 or 10 miles an hour around a corner, 700C is not a huge difference. I'm cornering at 15, 20, 30 miles an hour plus. And so I'm really loading up leveraging the wheels and pushing them sideways on recumbent trikes. So that's kind of my thought on the different size tires and rims and stuff. I think it's there's no right or wrong. It's on, are you big or small, where you're riding, what you're wanting to do with the wheels, and what they're going on and stuff. So once again, for me on road riding, I think the 700C is the way to go. I like a 25 to 40 millimeter tire. I think, in my humble opinion, of 40 years, I think road bikes will be in the 30 to 40 millimeter size tires in the future. I think that's where the market's going to go. Of course, it's going to be painfully slow getting there because we're still debating whether 23 or 5 or 28 is better. But I think everybody's gravitating, and pretty much the industry standard today, everybody's pretty accepting of the 25, and I think that's going to continue to increase because of all the benefits, rolling resistance, rolling smoothness, and less fatigue and comfort, and so on, just as has been discovered in mountain bikes. I currently run everything tubeless. I'm a big component of that. Again, it's if you don't like messing with sealants or capable of doing that, and the extra little hassle is not for you, by all means run a tube. They work and work fine. I just think the tubeless is a little bit lighter, has a chance of sealing a hole if you get a hole, and it's been proven to be a little less rolling resistance as well. The amount is debatable, but I do find it to roll better, and that I'm faster on a tubeless wheel system versus a tube most of the time. So that's kind of my take over here, and we'll go over to my recumbent trikes that I'm pushing. And so on the front here, we have a 16-inch 349, and on the back, we have a 406 with a 2-inch tire Maxxis hookworm, and then we have some racing Australian HPV racing tires, and they're 40 mil. And again, the wider tire, because it's not 700C, provides some comfort and traction and all rolling resistance. It's less as well. So these trikes that I have, it's called a Catrike 700. It was designed and is supposed to have that Williams 700, not necessarily the Williams wheel, but the 700C wheel on the back here. But when I ride, I'll set this down for a minute, pardon all the different things. I've been making some videos and working in the shop, but a 700C wheel, I don't have another one in the shop to compare. But when you're pedaling and you're cornering, I don't know if I'm going to get that, but it wants to rock side to side because it's a much taller tire. It's like a longer crowbar or pry bar on your bike. And this one is much more solid. I can move the 700C wheel back and forth on this bike a good 30 to 40 millimeters, which is considerable. That's almost a little less than 2 inches, probably 3/4 of an inch, which is really bothers me a lot because I'm a performance rider. So that's why in this application on recumbent trikes, I would multi-wheel vehicle, I highly recommend getting one or putting 16 or 20 inch wheels on them for that reason. So that's that application. And again, when I'm on two-wheel bikes, because you're not leaning and I'm a bigger rider, I prefer as big a wheel as I can get, which is the 700C. I've even looked into what they call 36ers, which is a 36-inch tall tire, which would work probably well for me. Again, it's what application and getting parts and tires for it. That's not anytime you go against the industry standards, them type of things are problems. So when I switch bikes or different things, I always like to stay with what's acceptable. It's just like in road bikes and stuff, the 650C, I believe they call it, is not much stuff out there for that, and it's kind of limited. So if you go that route and you're a shorter rider, or one of the ladies out there that prefer need a smaller wheel and shorter bike, then that's the choice. I know a lot of triathletes use that for many years. So again, all these wheels have they're all very fast. I've ridden all of them at speed, and depending on the tire and combo and everything. If I have the same tire on the 559, it's the 700C, I'm just as fast. And on a recumbent trike, the smaller wheels, I'm even faster on, because once again, they're more rigid and they don't allow the wheels to go out of alignment, which on a recumbent trike, anytime you get any movement in the frame or tires or spokes or flexing, it scrubs your speed, which is like an eraser on the ground, which slows you down. So that's a big reason why the smaller wheels I find them faster, in my opinion. And I'm sure this is a huge subject, and there's lots of variables and other things that I've not even begun to talk about. And feel free to chime in with your input stuff if you care to. But that's kind of my take. All these wheels are fast and can be fast on the right vehicle, depending on what that is. And that's kind of my 2 cents on wheel size. So I hope this has been somewhat helpful. And I appreciate everybody watching, and take care of yourselves and have a blessed day. Thank you.